God treasures and ponders you most. That of all the things that God thinks most about and cares most about and loves most, that Jesus himself decided not to stay up in heaven at a distance. Not like any other God you've heard about, not like any other story or myth or legend that's told you here is where you will find hope, not like promises of our world and our moment. No, it's different. This Christmas story is different than anything you have ever heard. This is a God that treasured you so much, that ponders you so much, that he refused to stay at a distance. And he decided to come and enter into the brokenness of your pain and your hurt and your story, and to become as vulnerable as you and I are. To experience the fullness of our humanity, the anxiety that we carry. The scriptures say that we don't have a God that can't sympathize with our weaknesses. Yet we have one who took on flesh, moved into the neighborhood, and experienced the fullness of our life, our pain, our brokenness, our hurts. And yet, are you willing to treasure Jesus as the answer, as the greatest gift that you could ever receive? You don't have to be convinced that he's actually the answer. But I just want to ask you if your heart is open. Like if you're willing, just today, to take all your presuppositions and just lay them at the feet of just drop them right now. Just unclench your fist, your defensiveness, any of that. Take a deep breath and just ask God, will you meet me here? Will you love me here? Will you care for me in this moment? And just say, I am open to treasuring you and receiving your good news. Because anything can happen if you let it. Mary is the one who is curious. And I want to invite you to be like Mary. Mary has been told that she is going to be the one who is giving birth to the Savior of the world. And yet she wrestles with that reality. What does that mean? You have to hold tight to the fact that Mary literally is raising a kid that ultimately she knows she's going to have to give away because he's going to die. He's going to give his life so that we all can be resurrected with him. He's going to take on the sin and brokenness of the world. She knows this. In many ways, she operates like a foster mother. For those of you who know about foster care, it's people who know that ultimately they're going to hold tight and love and care for a child that they ultimately are going to have to give up if everything goes according to plan. And Mary embraces that all of us suffer. All of us have to give up the thing we most treasure and the thing that we ponder and want the most. And yet in her curiosity, she goes back to God and she sings. Luke chapter 2 is her singing of the goodness of God, that someone as lowly as her is found loved by God, so much so that she could serve and give her life to serve God. So when I ask you in your curiosity tonight, where does this make you ponder what it could look like for you to be in relationship with God? Where does this make you want to treasure life that is being offered to you in Jesus? To no longer put it on the wayside, to no longer believe other lies of things that are promising you life to the fullest, to stop taking control, and to really release your life to God, to really give up control and to release your anxiety back to God, because the scriptures tell us that we can cast our anxieties on God because he cares for us. Because he knows our pain. He knows our struggle. He loves us. Because Jesus himself is the last character in the story and he is the gift. He is the Christ. It makes sense why someone would want to open a Bible on a Christmas morning more than they want to open a present. Because this is the greatest gift the world has ever received. Jesus Christ himself came. He lived the life that you couldn't live. He died the death that you couldn't take. And he gave himself over to God in trust. And he was resurrected from the dead that we would be in relationship with him for eternity. If you have not put your faith in Jesus, give him your life, because he is the only God that has came for you. And he's the only God that will return for you. And he's the only God that loves you. He's the only God that cares about you so much that he took on all the brokenness of your experience. St. John Chrysostom in the late 300s said, he became what we are that he might make us what he is. Friends, do you want to be with God for eternity? Jesus is inviting you to treasure and ponder what that might look like. To put your faith in him and to receive the greatest gift the world has ever been offered. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, born that you might have life and life to the fullest in him for eternity.